everybody. So my goldfish are due for a water change today. It's been maybe about 3 days, and I usually wait about 5 between water changes, but my Aqueon filter recently recently was not working for a day, so I think I'm having a little bit of a cycle bump, which is unfortunate. Luckily I have the canister filter that was still running, and that has maintained most of my cycles, so it's not too bad. But as you can see, after 3 or 4 days, I have, it's hard to tell from here, but it's about 0.25 ammonia. Might be a little bit less, but it's enough for me to need to do a water change, unfortunately. So I just figured I'd take you guys through the process of how I do my water changes. So every time before I do a water change, I always test. I use the API drop test kits, and here is ammonia, nitrate, and nitrite. Those are the 3 things that I always test for. I also test for pH, GH, and KH, but I'll admit I don't test for those as regularly, which I probably should, because my GH and KH is pretty low, but I've been using a buffer that has kept it stable, so I don't worry about it as much. So there you can see ammonia here, nitrite there, and that's blue, so that's 0, and nitrate there, and that's also 0, so that's good. So all I have is just a little tiny bit of ammonia in the water, so I'm going to go ahead and change it anyway. So I will show you guys what I do. So I use the Aqueon water changer. You can see it just hooks right up to your sink here. This little piece screws on, and then this piece screws to it. Here you can turn the water on so it's coming out here, and that'll make suction come through this tube. You turn it this way down, it'll make the water come out the tube. So you can suction it out and then turn it to fill your tank back up. So it just attaches to a big long tube. I think I have the 25-foot one. And then here's the vacuum part, and this actually isn't the vacuum that came with the Aqueon. It's actually one that came with a different gravel changer, but I just use it because it fits, and yeah. So here's how I actually change the water. I usually vacuum up the gravel pretty well, just by setting the gravel back down and holding it in one place for a little bit, and you can see it sucks up some of the gravel, and it also sucks up all the crack that's in the gravel. I do turn the Aqueon filter off while I'm doing this, but I don't turn the canister filter off. I only turn the Aqueon filter off because it just creates a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Movement in the water that can stress out the fish while it's happening. This one doesn't create as much of a heavy movement. Current, I guess current is the best word for that. So yeah, I just go through my whole tank and kind of do this throughout it. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done actually taking the water out. So here's about how much water I change every time. This is a little bit less than I usually change. I usually try to do 50 to 80%. This looks like it's maybe about 60%. But if I do any more than this, I have to turn off the canister filter, and I'm just not interested in dealing with that today, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, about every every 5 days usually I will do 50 to 80% of the tank, and that keeps the water quality really good. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and fill it back up. Okay, so now the tank is filling back up. You can see the water coming out there. You want to make sure that you match the temperature of the water that you're putting back in the tank to the temperature of the water that's already in the tank, and you want it to be within 1 to 2 degrees is usually good. I test it by hand, but you can use a thermometer, which would be a little bit more accurate. I also use Prime water conditioner, which in my opinion is the best water conditioner there is available right now. Although Aqueon Plus is also another really good one. It detoxifies ammonia and nitrite for, I think it's 24 hours. So when you're cycling, if you're cycling with fish, which I don't recommend, so fishless cycle's way better, but if you happen to be in that position, this can be a really good tool to use. I also use a buffer for my water. This is Buff It Up from goldfishconnection.com. It's a great buffer. My GH and KH is super low, so I have to do a buffer or else my pH will drop within days, and that can harm your goldfish. So it is good to know what your GH and KH is of your water, just so you can be aware. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll add this buffer in, and I've already added the Prime before I started filling up the tank, and that's about it. I fill it back up, and there you have it. Water change is done. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know.